Hey everyone, it's Lizzie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing how you can use this bill tracker to help you with your paycheck budgeting. So if you guys are interested to see how I set up my bill tracker, then keep on watching. All right, so I use my bill tracker for each and every one of my paychecks. It is so helpful and it's a great way to organize your paydays and to organize how much you're going to apply for a specific bill for each payday. It's the best thing that I have in my whole budgeting routine. So this is one that I use. It's all filled out and this is how it looks like. So I'll write in what the due date is, what the expense is, how much the total bill is for, and then over here I just write in my paydays right across. So I just have this as a carrying on bill tracker. So I have the ending of April in here, and then I'm also working into June. So I just keep this running. And so since I have already budgeted for June, well, I have to fill in June's bill tracker as well as the beginning part of July. So we're going to go ahead and start filling out this bill tracker. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it with my calendar and all of that stuff. So let's get into it. All right, so the first thing that you want to do is write in what your bills are and what your expenses are that you want to include in your bill tracker. So let me go ahead and do that right now. And I'm actually just going to copy pretty much everything except for the housing payments on this bill tracker. All right, so I have all of my bills written in here, and then also this variable expense that is a regular occurrence in my paycheck budgeting, which is groceries. So I budget $300 each and every month for groceries. That's $75 each week. And sometimes based on our pay schedule, sometimes it'll be like 2 weeks before we receive our next paycheck. So we have to budget accordingly for that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and set this aside, and I'm gonna grab my calendar for June. And so for my calendar, I always make a note of when the payday is. So I just put a little $ of when I will be getting paid. So there will be a pay on the 5th, on the 11th, 19th, and the 25th. So my pay schedule is actually changing from being a bi-monthly pay schedule, which I had gotten paid on the 15th of every month and the last day of every month, to now a bi-weekly schedule. So I am getting a pay, I'm going to show you right here, the last day of the month, and then I'm also receiving a pay on the 5th. So it changes this part just a bit because I didn't realize when I had first wrote this in that they were changing our pay schedule. So I do have to adjust this. I'm actually just gonna probably put like a cross out because I will be receiving a pay the following week as well. So based on that, we have to switch up, and I'm gonna show you the change in our paycheck bill tracker. With this, I'm gonna go ahead and make that adjustment right here. And what I like to do is, based on the due date of the expense, I like to highlight when I know I have to have the total amount complete set aside in my bank account, meaning I just do a deduction in my checkbook register and I leave that in my bank account because all of my bills are on auto debit. So I have to make sure that I have enough funds in my bank account to cover that expense. But right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and write in the paydays right across. So we got that straightened out. So now I'm gonna go ahead and highlight when I know a bill has to be completed for both months, because we do have June and then we do have the beginning of July, and some of my bills are due in the beginning of the month, so I have to know that. So let me move this aside since I don't need that anymore, and let me zoom you guys in just a little bit more so you can see better. So clearly on the first of the month my rent is due, and as you see here I have it highlighted the last day of May that I have to have the full rent due, so I highlighted that. The 7th, iTunes is to be due. So here you see, and I'm just gonna leave this how it is, but I had that highlighted on the 29th because my next bill, my payday was not until the 11th. So it was due on the 7th. I needed to have that before the 7th. So that's how I have my bill tracker set up. So that's completed. iTunes is completed here. I'm gonna have that ready, but I could switch it to the 5th. Being that I'm switching over to new pay schedule, I don't wanna change that part. I just wanna leave it how I had it planned out, and then maybe this 5th could be just like an extra, because it pretty much is an extra paycheck, because I didn't know I was gonna get paid for 1 week. So we'll see how I'm gonna work that into this. So that's how this works. The highlighter is what I use. So we're gonna go ahead and just move on into July, like June, July, right? Rent for July is due on the 1st. So I need to make sure that I have the funds by the 25th. So I'm gonna highlight that box. iTunes, we've already covered that here. So I have to plan for July. So it's due on the 7th. I need to have it before the 7th. So I'm gonna highlight the July box. Same thing for Spotify. And then it's due on the 9th, so I can go ahead and just put that it's gonna be paid on the 9th. This is due on the 11th, so let me grab my July calendar. So this is due on the 11th. Let's see. We get paid on the 9th and we don't get another pay. So I'm gonna have that ready for the 9th. This is due on the 15th. This needs to be paid up by the 9th. Same thing on the 15th. I want to have that ready by the 9th. All right, and then we get into these ones that are a little bit later in the month. So the 18th through the 30th. So we do have a few more pays in July before those bills are due. So we have on the 18th, we get paid on the 17th, so we can mark that on the next bill tracker. So what I like to do for those ones is I just put like a little arrow so that I know that is for the following time. But then since we are towards the middle of June, these count for June. We still have to focus on that. So let's see where we stand. So 15th for June. Let me backtrack to make sure that we're good. So we took care of July, but we missed June. ID theft, I think we covered that. Let's see. Yep, ID theft was covered for June. Storage was covered. Ministry, though, was not. So that we have to pay by the 11th of June. Same thing for the car insurance. You see how this is working? I hope it's making sense to you guys. Let me know in the comments. Electricity, we're gonna say by then. Water, it's due, we're saying on the 15th. Again, this is an estimate because I don't have my actual bill with me. But the great thing is if this is not it had to change. With this highlighter, it's erasable. I've actually never tried erasing it, so we'll see if this works. Oh, okay, so I can always change that up and change that highlight. And then I'll see if I can link this in the description box in case you guys want to try it. But I got these at Walmart. Okay, life insurance is due on the 18th. So I will have this ready by the 11th. Disney Plus on the 19th, so it's right here. We get paid on the 19th, so that's good. Phone bill gets taken out on the 19th. Life insurance comes out on the 26th, so on the 25th, we have to make sure that we have that money paid. Internet is due on the 29th, so we have to make sure that we have that by June 25th. And then lastly, we have an iTunes that gets deducted on the 30th. So the 25th is when I have to have it ready. So I have my highlighting going on, but how do I know how much to separate for each of those bill trackers? This is the fun part. Okay. So I always look at the previous bill tracker, and if you are new to bill tracking, you can do this the same way. I hope that you've planned ahead for your bills and you have something set aside, or maybe you withdraw it in a cash envelope, but just figure out how much you've already put money aside for that bill. If you have not put anything towards that bill for that following month, well, you're gonna obviously apply a little bit more for each of the paychecks. So let's follow along with me, and I hope that you're understanding how I do this bill tracker system for the paycheck to paycheck system of mine. So we've already covered this for the 11th. So we said the storage is coming out on the 11th, and then we said $49 for car insurance. So the 5th, remember, it's kind of weird because I didn't plan for that. So we have already put money for the 11th. I just took it from this number. So we know that that's completed. 49, that's completed. All right. So for car insurance, if you see here, I've taken out 49 for each of these pays, and it's due on the 15th. So what you do is, or that's actually different. Let me white this out. Because our car insurance is actually with renter's insurance included in it as well. So what you do is, let me get my calculator. You take the total amount. So let's do rent, $1,300, okay? So rent, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pays until the due date, right? So we're gonna do that $1,300 and we're gonna divide it by 4. So $325 is the amount that we want to set aside up until it's due. So iTunes, we've already gotten iTunes covered. So I'm not gonna withdraw anything from these pays. It's so little, we're just going to apply it on that due date. Same thing for Spotify, it's so minimal. I don't see why we would set money aside for that. It should only be the due date. Okay? Again, same thing for this ID theft. It's $12.90. I'm only gonna put it for that due date. And again, I have a payday on the 5th, but keep in mind, my pay had switched. So we had already set money aside for that. $12.90 is gonna be paid on the 29th bill, or the 29th payday. All right, storage. This is different. So storage, we said that we were gonna pay it on the 18th and that will complete the $72 amount due. But the amount had changed just a bit. It's actually $77.04. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take that $77.04 and subtract what I've already set aside. Okay, so we're going to do 18 minus 18 minus 18. So $23.04, but we already said we're going to put $18 on the 11th. So $5.04 is what I'm going to say is going to be taken from this fifth payday. So that actually works out great. So now what about these ones? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 until it's due. So you're going to take 77.04 and divide it by the number of paydays you have leading up to the time that you want to pay that bill. I hope I'm making sense. So divide it by 4. So $19.26 is the amount that I'm going to have set aside for each of these paychecks so that I will complete my payment for the 9th. And these, we're just going to leave it at 20 because that's when I need to have the funds by. Now, car insurance. I think this is a good example. So car insurance is here, but I had things switched up. I had it split up because I thought that the renter's insurance and the car insurance were going to be separate, but everything is all bunched up in the car insurance auto draft that happened in my account. So it is my car insurance plus the renter's insurance all in one, okay? So in this bill tracker, I had it separate. So on these pays, I had $49, and sorry about this chicken scratch. $49 is what I had said, oh, I'm gonna separate that for the next bill. And I actually hadn't written anything in here because it was only $16.66. So what I'm gonna do is change this up a little bit. So it's $207.56. And here's where my whiteout comes in handy. So as I'm filming this, I have not received this pay yet, so I'm gonna make an adjustment here. So 207.56 divided by, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 paychecks leading up to when it's due. So I'm gonna divide it by 4, and it's gonna give me $51.89. So that's exactly what I'm gonna put aside. So let me get my white out. Okay, we said it's, $51.89. Electricity, we're saying $60. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So same thing, 60 divided by 4. So $15 is what's going to be set aside for the electric bill. All right, and then you do the same thing for the following pay cycle. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one more time for these couple of bills, and I really hope that this helps you see how I use this bill tracker and how helpful it is with my paycheck budgeting. So just one more time for this car insurance example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 leading up to that 9th. So we've already calculated it here, but just in case you didn't follow it, it's 207.56. So your amount due divided by the number of pays, it gives you that dollar amount, $51.89. And that's how you do it. And you just keep doing that until you completed your bill tracker. But that is everything for this video. I really hope that you found it helpful in your budgeting journey, and that you will utilize a bill tracker that you create yourself, or you can get this same one on my shop. I will have the link in the description box along with a coupon code that you can use to get 10% off. But really hope you found this helpful. If you did, be sure to hit the thumbs up button, and look forward to seeing new videos from me every Tuesday and every Saturday. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in a brand new video. Bye guys!